Welcome, guys. We're very excited to do this podcast. My name is Nick Caparosa. I'm 39. Nicole asked me to tell you guys that. Not sure what it really
I think it's
symbolizes.
important.
Very excited and happy to be here. We have a lot of content and a lot of things to share with you guys. I myself do mortgages. Not sure why. I've been doing mortgages for about 8 years. Nicole?
Babe, I hate this. Can
Why?
I just do this after?
Grow some balls, like the Italians would say. This is Nicole Sierra. She is
How would you describe me?
29 years old. She's a very sexy, hot Latin girl who, I don't know how to describe
I do
you.
social media.
Yes, social media analyst.
Market.
Perfectionist, yes.
Analyst. Manager.
I think we're starting this podcast because we have tons of great ideas, number one.
We're both very creative.
We're both
I feel
very,
like.
very creative, yeah.
You do mortgages, but you're like also a creative.
Creator. And we have, like a lot of good ideas, a lot of things to share with people. And I think that we like connect with a lot of people, or a lot of people feel the same way and stuff that we feel, right? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we've been through like slowly discovering that we've been through a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
And also are going through a lot in
Yes.
a short amount of time. When do you think we first met? Because I know
when we first met. We first met at the Who's Paying Tommy's social media thing that he did, TJ Babco's thing in South Norwalk.
Okay, that's the content creation
workshop
by Thomas Bepko.
By Thomas Pepko. Who's paying Tommy?
But I knew you were going to say that, Nick. That's not the first time we met.
All right, but that's the first time I remember meeting you.
Yeah, the first
in
time
the
you
flesh.
remember me.
Yeah, I mean, you were hammered drunk, and I remember
I
that.
wasn't.
And you made fun of my Spanish at the bar. I remember this.
But that wasn't the first time we met, so I'm going to say the first time we met.
After I finished. Okay, you go first.
Because that wasn't the
Ladies
first time.
first. Okay.
The first time we met was at Total Mortgage. I think they just did renovations, and they were giving me a tour of the Total Mortgage because I never go up there. So he was like introducing me to everyone, and then Al was there too. And then we get to like your desk, and you were just like looking at the computer, and they were like, oh, and then this is like Nick Cap. And you literally were just like, and then, and I literally go to Al, like she probably remembers this. I was like, who is that? You were like wearing a backwards hat, and I was like, who is that? He's gonna be my husband. And then like I never heard of you again till.
Yeah, I don't remember that. So
no, I know, that's what I'm saying. That was our first encounter.
And it's great that, you were blackout drunk when I met you because you don't remember me and me, right?
I
at the
remember
bar,
meeting you.
I was at the bar after that content day we did, and you like, I felt like someone was staring at me. Like, you know how like if you're like sitting somewhere and you're looking somewhere else, you just feel like there's eyes on you, like a fox is looking at you or something. And like I looked over and you were just like staring at me with the hungry eyes, we call them. And then like, I don't know. And then you just were like very like sarcastic and just.
But how did we
flirty.
start talking? Did I go up to you?
No, like TJ, it's always like, I think TJ was like, oh yeah, like Nick goes to Colombia or something. Like he's been to Colombia or, Nicole's Colombian. And then I was like, oh, then you're like, you speak Spanish? I was like, oh yeah, un poco. And you're like, un poco, that's not even how you say it. And then like you started making fun of me. I was like, this girl's rude. And then, that's the first, I remember that's the first time we met. And then
I put on this event, by the way. I wasn't just like showing up wasted.
No,
I put on
know you
this
weren't
event.
showing up
I
wasted. You were
worked
pretty
really
hammered.
hard.
Remember we were when we were walking into that restaurant, there was like huge rats.
No, that's
like,
when we were
ran across
walking
that
out.
thing.
You were drunk.
Oh, that was out.
That was me, you, and Alan were walking out, and I freaked because that was my phobia, but I didn't want to actually freak in front of you guys. But they were like rats. They weren't even like mice. They were like rats. I've never seen that in my life.
No, they were giant sized rats. Yeah, it's pretty great. Shout out to Norwalk for the rats.
Well, I had a boyfriend the first time I met you. But again, that was
I
like.
don't even remember me.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. 3 at this point. It's probably like 3 years ago. Then that time, I was not in a relationship. I'd just gotten out of a relationship literally like the month before or that month.
Yeah, I think you told me that night. I think I was like, how are you? And you're like, I'm great. I'm single.
Stop. Well, I was in a 5-year-long relationship before that. But I already knew who you were. Again, because again, second time. And then I was like totally obsessed already. And I remember I was telling my sister, and I was like
It's pretty interesting that you were obsessed because I didn't really get those vibes.
We were like the last people to stay there, right? Because my sister had already left.
Yeah, because me and Alan we weren't really there with you guys when you guys were like partying. And then we went, like, me and Alan went to get something to eat separately. And then came back. And then, so we got food at this really good spot down the street. It was like fire. And then we came back and lo and behold, the blackout.
I wasn't black out that night.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
That was a good night. Anyways, so what's next?
Do you remember talking at the bar with me? Really?
Yeah, I do. It was like very like brief and like you were just kind of being like sassy and sarcastic. I remember that.
So I was in love with you and you didn't
Spanish,
even like me.
Asked me if I spoke Spanish, and I was speaking Spanish, and you were making fun of like the way I spoke Spanish. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, moving on. Then we like never really talked after that.
No, not at all. No. The next time I saw you was in Vegas.
In Vegas by accident.
TJ,
and I was living in Dallas already.
TJ knew I was gonna be there, and I was supposed to meet up with him, and he's like, he was so excited to like hang out with you. I don't really remember that, but I just remember he's like, oh, Nicole's coming, we're gonna shoot content, and then you showed up at lunch. She was sober this time, guys.
4 months later, I'm already living in Dallas. You're still in Connecticut. I land in Vegas, and I get to the hotel before TJ, and he's like, hey, like, my boy's here. Let's go to brunch with him. It was you. And I remember I was texting.
It's funny because I remember when you came I was like, oh, the, like, stuck-up girl again. Like, that's literally what I thought.
I can't believe you got those
you
vibes from me.
Yeah, and then you sat down and you're like, you just, like, you had, like, I thought I was just, like, she, like, hates me or she's just a stuck-up. You know how, like, when you're young and, like, a girl really likes you and she's very mean to you? That's, like, the vibes I got. Those are looking back at it.
I was also there though to go to dinner with Alex Hermosi and Layla Hermosi. So I was like really nervous about that. I remember talking to you guys about that and being like, "Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous." Yeah,
you grabbed my phone and followed them. Yeah, and I love Alex Hermosi. When we sat down, you were just rambling, like you were just like just about work and not like you seemed burnt out from work. I remember.
I was very
and I did this, and I did that, and then we content this, and I was like, oh wow, she's pretty excited about her job. And then you were like, well, and then like I was trying to like interject in the conversation to like just give like ideas or inspiration, and you were just like, like that. That's why I'm like.
Well, that was the point in my career where I was like literally burnt out. I was like doing the most traveling, like twice a month, and just living on my own and just trying to manage my whole life.
And TJ was like basically talking me into like shooting content, which I was like, I'm not shooting content.
But then we convinced you.
Yeah, for me, like it's tough. I think for people that do or don't do content and that are kind of like insecure, you have like a fear of like what you're gonna look like on camera and this and that. And then when we did do the content, I remember seeing the footage of it and being like so insecure about it, being like, ew, like it's like. But nobody cares. It's just like, an insecurity. But yeah, you guys talked me into shooting the footage.
Yeah, so then we went upstairs.
Well, we had a drink first at the bar.
No, we didn't. That was after.
No. TJ said you guys should have a drink before we shoot to loosen you up. I remember that.
No, it was after.
Okay, for me it was before, but. No,
because we went up to his room and he was like, let's order a drink. And then we just ended up like shooting the podcast first. And then TJ because we were all there for different events. Like you were there for your event. He was there for a different event, a mastermind, I think. And then I was there to meet Alex and Layla Hermosi because I was about to start working with them. So we were all there for different things. So we shot the podcast and you guys and that's the first time I really heard you just like talk and be yourself and be funny and like tell your stories. And like TJ had to go and I still had a few hours before dinner. And TJ was the one who said, you guys should go to the bar and like get a drink on me or whatever. So then he left and we went downstairs to the bar and that's when we had a drink.
Yeah. And it's funny because the first I didn't have any, I don't think, not like you're pretty, but you are obviously gorgeous, but I didn't have any like thoughts of attraction. I didn't think you liked me in any way. And I wasn't like, wow, I'm going to like, try to get this girl or pursue this girl. Once we had the drink and then went our separate ways, I never even thought about you again.
That's so sad because I literally went home.
But you didn't give me any type of like think about her
because
vibes.
Why the fuck
it's
would
not
I do
like,
that?
Like you're just not a flirt. Goes what?
I was like, why would I do that? You were supposed to do that first. Because then I probably felt like you didn't like me. So I was like, oh, sad. No, but that day, I literally remember I was texting probably Sam. Like, I think I was texting Sam and I was like, I literally am about to go to the most important like dinner of my life at that point. Like having dinner, like literally a one-on-one dinner with Alex Hermosi and Layla Hermosi. And I didn't want to leave the bar. I was like, Sam, I'm being so stupid, but I literally don't want to go to dinner with Alex Hermosi to fucking have a drink with you. But I was going to go anyway. So then
you wanted to, you were very well on your way.
But I waited until the very last second that I could. And then I went upstairs, changed really quick. I didn't even have time to like get into the outfit, do the hair that I wanted to do, all of that. Because I wanted to stay like talking to you. And then
you were work back then. So that makes sense because that's why there was no like physical attraction or like any chemistry, I think, because all you talked about was work. That's it. You just like content and then I was like, geez, I gotta shoot IG reels. Like,
yeah, so maybe that's
there was
why.
no like sort of connect. You were like, yeah, in the podcast, like you were just, that's it.
So then I left to go to dinner. And when I came back from dinner, because that was like an early dinner, and for Vegas especially, it was like a 6 or 7 o'clock dinner. By the time I got back from dinner with the Hermosis, TJ, I was like, TJ, where are you? He was like, hey, me and Nick just got to the restaurant. We're going to have dinner. And then I got to see you again. Remember? At the restaurant? It was right before your flight.
Yeah. No. Shout out to that restaurant. It was like $40 for a side of truffle fries.
Then you took pictures of me and TJ. I took pictures of you and TJ. And then we didn't talk, right?
Yeah, never again. I think you like text me randomly like, hey, where did you get your Yorkie? Like about like I need to get one for my mom.
When I got home from that trip, like you can ask Cora and Sam, I was like, he's so fucking hot. I'm obsessed. I was like, I'm gonna marry him. Like I was just being like a little girly pop obsessed. And then you didn't even like me. That's so sad.
Yeah, all you talked about was work. Like you didn't talk about anything of substance except work. You were just talking about content and the Hermosis and like that's it. Like,
well, that was my life at the time. I had no other life besides my dogs and work. So I was already obsessed with you because of Vegas. And then a few like weeks later, like a month or two later, do you remember? It was a Sunday. I get a random FaceTime call from TJ, and he goes, hey, I like just got out the shower. My hair was like in a towel. And I was like on a Sunday, but it's TJ. I'm close to them. And so I like answered and he was with Lila and he goes, guess who just showed up at my house and was like asking questions about you. But I told him that we can just like call you and ask yourself.
That's a lie.
But you were there.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't say anything about you. Or no, I said like one
Why
thing.
did you hate me?
No, I said like one, like just one thing, and you know,
like
TJ
what?
And Lila, he was talking about you. I was like, oh, how is she? And he's like, oh my god, like it made like a whole thing.
So then he called me. You were there, and like I said hi to you, and then we like kind of talked on FaceTime. Then it was the TMS content day. So that was the first time that I was like, oh, he might like me.
What date did I ask you out on a
but you didn't even like me.
What date did I ask you out on a content day?
You didn't like me.
During the content day,
I was already obsessed. I texted you, and of course you were late at the time. I didn't know, but you wake up late. So you were like running an hour too late, and we had already had each other's numbers from Vegas, I think. Mm-hmm. And I texted you. I was like, "Hey, like, are you coming?" Because I was gonna record you. I was gonna.
You did record me.
I did, but you were late. You missed the whole like presentation. You came just for like the content thing, and so I remember I texted you. I was like, "Oh, like, are you actually gonna come?" And you were like, "Yeah, like, I'll be there soon or whatever." You showed up late. We ended up shooting content together. You left, and I was still working. And content day ended at like 4, and my flight, I had already like, I had 2 dogs at home in Dallas. So I had already, like, I was leaving that same day. Like I was in and out for work. So that ended at 4. My flight was at like 8 o'clock. So I had to go straight to JFK, like leave my rental there and like head out. You texted me at 4:30 and you were like, do you want to do dinner? I have like screenshots of all this. So I'm going to like put this in the edits because you literally texted me. And I remember I was like, hey, like I'm actually like I have a flight, whatever. But I remember I like texted my mom and I was like, oh my God, like he asked me to like what I'm doing after like or to get dinner or something like that. And I was like, should I like go tomorrow? But I had to like go relieve my like dog sitter and like all of that in Dallas. So I like almost stayed to go to dinner with you. You did not like me for the first like 8 months.
Like it's just that all you talked about was work, and that's all you really did, like, you know.
Well, that's all I was doing.
Yeah, that's fine. I love you.
Yeah, now I told you like I'm coming back in December for a month. Remember? Because I was coming for the holidays and for my sister's wedding. So then I think we had like both been like, okay, we can like do something when I come home. Also, I really didn't think it was going to be anything like serious because I lived in Dallas and you lived in Connecticut, but I just thought you were so hot. And I literally like haven't talked to anyone since I got out of a relationship. The first time we saw each other was the night of my sister's wedding, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But you knew I had a crush on you then already because you literally
because everybody,
was saying that I wanted to bring you as my date to my sister's wedding, but I didn't know you.
So I made like a joke, about it to Alex, and then he was like,
so at this point, you knew I had a crush on you.
Yeah, and then I don't know. The rest is history, Nicole.
No, because we still didn't talk. How did we even start talking?
I came to your mom's house and we talked. We started talking.
The night of my sister's wedding at 1 a.m. And you didn't want to come and I had to force you. And I was really drunk. That's why I was like, you have to come. Yeah, you were out.
I wasn't like you drunk, but
I was actually like, okay, that day.
Yeah, then you looked hot and then, yeah. All the stars were shining bright and then he kissed me.
We did have our first kiss that night on the porch. I didn't remember. I remember I texted Lyle and I was like, I hate myself so much. I think we kissed, and like I kind of remember, but don't.
Yeah, and then your mom, like I was like rolling the blunt, or I just got done
in
like
the car.
Weed. Your mom was like, "Hola."
Scary. Adele is scary. Our first date after that was like sushi.
When we went to Sweet Basil or sushi, I didn't really like. I didn't feel like a connection at first with you. It took me a little while.
Wait, but like, why did you ask me out on a date then after my sister's wedding?
Oh, because I wanted to hang out with you. What do you mean?
Wait, why? If you still didn't feel a connection?
What do you mean? I didn't even hang out with you. I didn't get to hang out with you. You were blacked out drunk.
Yeah, I mean, we like kind of hung out for like an hour in your car. But okay, fine. So.
But it was like 1 a.m. and everybody was drunk and yeah.
So we went to Sweet Basil and you still didn't like me?
After that, yeah, like after that. I mean, the connection became stronger afterwards.
After Sweet Basil?
It's just so funny because like the connection for me became stronger afterwards, but then for her became weaker. She was like obsessed with me at first. I didn't know. And then I became obsessed with her. Now she hates me and I love her. It's like, wow.
It's how it always happens though.
How life turns around.
You asked me out at like 5 p.m. for like a 6 o'clock date.
Yeah, that's just how I am. You're like a stickler for time and all that. And you're all like, yeah, that's just how I am. Just a bachelor, like, hey, what's up? You want to go out on a date in an hour?
Colony was our second date.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. I saw that.
Did you like me that day?
That day, yeah. That day, yeah. I saw that. I remember, yeah, we saw that kid Brian. I saw him today and I was like, hey, we're having a baby. We're engaged. He's like, oh, that's great.
I think you kind of like me now.
Yeah, but you started to open up and become like a real person then. Like you were very like.
Well, we met at work settings before.
Yeah, you were just like closed off and quiet. But at Colony, you were cool. Everything was like, yeah. Yeah, I remember I talked to my dad in the parking lot. I was like, oh, I'm on a date, yada, yada. And he's like, oh, you're on a date? You're like the person you're on a date with? I was like, yeah. I'm starting to like, I like her. It's like third date I've been on, yada, yada.
Oh, so cute. Were you like actively dating though when you were dating me? Like you were dating multiple people?
No, because I'm not like a dater. I'm like weird. Like I'm not a dater. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm weird like that. Even like when we first, I'm not like a date. Like guys are so like, they're always trying to hit on girls and like go extra hard. I don't go extra hard. If a girl's like, oh, you're cute. I'm like, oh, okay, you're cute. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm shy.
How long were you single at that point?
I don't know. I've been single forever.
That's
3 years.
That's like not forever.
4 years.
But this one we were like talking more.
Yeah.
Like we were talking every day. But Nick wouldn't text me like at all until like 5 o'clock. And that is like red flag.
It's not red flag.
It's a red fucking flag. Most girls like want to be like, hey, like have a good day at work. I don't know. Like whatever. If you're not a texter, then like call me. Because like I dated someone who like wasn't like a texter like ever. But he would at least call. Like, he'd be like, I'm not fucking texting you all day, but, like, I'll call you in the morning. Like, I'll call you when I, like, get out of work, go to the gym.
You're not a caller, though. That's a big red flag.
I'm a caller. I was very nervous at the beginning. You didn't even talk to me via text.
Is that just, like, your generation? Like, what generation are you guys?
No, your so wrong about that.
Sucks.
No,
pretty bad. Like, just horrible.
We're both millennials.
All you guys do.
Are you not a millennial?
I have nothing to do with your generation. Nothing to do with it.
Okay, so that's why age is a big deal.
Text. That's all you do is text. It's, like, incredible. Like,
no,
you get your head busted open when I was
phone person. I swear, like I can talk to you on the phone. You just like made me nervous because like
I
you
don't
just
think you can.
confirmed that you didn't like me for the first 6 months that I was obsessed
That's all
with
you guys
you.
do is text.
No, I can talk on the phone. You just didn't talk to me, so I was scared of you. But
Millennial.
you're a millennial too, aren't you?
You're like a millennial AI or something. I'm like millennial. You're like,
No, you're just 10 years older.
man, this is what these women do. They just reel you in. They love you at first, and then they get you, and then you're fucked. Yeah. And then they're just like, I hate you. And then it's like, then you're going to spend the rest of your life chasing the woman. Yeah.
You never asked me to be your girlfriend either.
Yeah, I don't know, Nicole. I just like assumed it. Like, you know.
Do you have any advice for people?
Like,
Like, don't you think you should be asking someone like to be your girlfriend?
Yeah, the advice is I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't dated in a while. And this is the problem. And I've never been really in like, I wouldn't say never. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been like in a really healthy relationship. And I haven't dated in a long time, and I have no desire to date because I just lost, like, what is it called? Lost like
Hope.
Yeah, like lost hope in women, and a lot of times with anybody, guys, girls, when you're like constantly attracting or dating like, you know, people who suck, you just give up, and then you just everything you look, you get like desensitized. So every like girl you look at, you treat the same. So when I met you, I wasn't ready to meet such a like high value woman who was just like, oh, I can't do this. I have to like call. You know, it was like. You want to do the right thing.
I will give you that. I feel like anytime I brought something up to you, you would like fix it.
I still do think, and again, people could comment or chime in. I think it's like childish to be like, okay, I'm your girlfriend, or do you want to be my girlfriend, or like that's like very.
Well,
sixth
I don't
grade-ish.
think that's how you want to
dating-
say it. I think it's a more of a conversation. Like, hey, like, are we both like not seeing other people? Like, are we gonna just see
but
each other?
I think if you're dating and it just kind of goes with the flow, after a while, it's just like goes without saying. Like, you know, you're very just like, oh, like, are we? And I get it, girl. I think a lot of girls want that, but for guys, it's just like, you know, guys are. I think most guys, they're just kind of like go with the flow. Like, and then if you fall in love and you start being together, it's just gonna come natural. And then yeah, obviously you're. Oh, you're my. I don't know. Girls, I guess, just have to have the little note that says, "Do you like me? Yes or no?" Wire and check yes, check no. So you're a girly's girl. That's why.
Well, maybe I got the vibes for the first 6 months that you hated me. So like, I needed to know. Okay, like, are we progressing?
I was just
Long story short, my apartment got broken into in Dallas, and then
I remember that.
I also a big part of my wanting to move back home was low key because I started talking to you and like going on dates with you over that like month break. But it like my parents were the ones who were like, you know, you should come back home, blah blah blah. Like obviously everything happens for a reason, but I loved Dallas. Like in my mind, I was like, oh, I'll just convince him to move to Dallas with me. And like, I didn't actually think like we would be in like a relationship or anything either, just because I literally didn't live there. And I also thought of you differently. I feel like I just thought of you like, he's so hot, but he's probably so bad.
Yeah, that's probably true. But like the thing is like you lived in Dallas, but you're like a Fairfield girl. I feel like so for me it was like, all right, if I fall in love or whatever, if I want to get serious with her, she's like a Fairfield girl or she's a Connecticut girl, so I could get her to come back or whatever. And it just so happened you ended up coming back, which is fine. I didn't see that as like a barrier, the long term relationship thing.
I would tell Sam this. I'm like, the second I date someone, I'm going to be in a relationship. So I remember in therapy, my therapist was like, Nicole, if like your long-term plan is to move back to Connecticut and like have your life there and like start a family there, like why even date in Dallas? She's like, you're going to meet someone and then what? You're going to be like, hey, like I actually want to move back. They're not going to want to leave their family. They're not going to want to like do any of that. So to me, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I wasn't thinking like, oh, we're going to be something like long-term, but I also would like, I knew I was going to move back eventually. But also just thought it would be kind of something fun that would like last a few months. Because I really did, I thought you were like bad news. KK, well, I had to ask you if I was your girlfriend. And then you said you just assumed. And then I said, KK.
Typical man shit. What's next?
Then I finally had sex with you. Just kidding.
Yeah,
not
took
post.
a while.
That's probably why I wanted to know so bad. I wasn't going to have sex with you if I wasn't your fucking girlfriend. Because you were probably a little crusty dusty doing God knows what. Who said I love you first?
I definitely said I love you first.
Yeah, you did, but
Yeah,
I don't think you loved me.
You don't know what love is, and it's so easy for you to say you're in love. And like, you know, this is guys don't get like deterred when a woman just like you blah blah, because it's it's their shit. It's usually like when a woman tells a guy like, oh, you're not.
That's because you did some dumb shit, and then you came over the next day with like a rose. And you're like, I love you. And I was like, no, you're just scared because I'm mad at you. Like, get the fuck off my porch.
Yeah, it's just emotionless.
Well, that was the first time you said it.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time I said it that you didn't say it back. So, know what's next?
Express what we love most about each other.
I love how you get shit done. I love that you're organized. I love how much energy you have. You're just, I don't know, you're fun. You're very fun.
That's cute.
Now that you're pregnant, we can't do as much fun stuff, but yeah, you just make me a better person, a better man, and you make sure to check on me all the time to make sure that I'm being a better man or a very good person, good man. And you?
Well, I thought you were really funny. I think you're really funny. You make like everyday shit like so fun. You have a really good personality. You're a good friend.
Oh, thanks.
I think you're really nice to me. Like, I think you're like too nice to me. That's why I always felt like, oh, like he's like an expert at like playing people because like he's like too nice. Because you were nice. Like, you wouldn't text me, but then like when you did, you were like sweet or like, I don't know. You're just, but I thought it was just like because you're like a pro serial dater. Psycho. But no.
Pro serial dater. That's interesting.
I don't know.
What pro serial dater guys son? What's a pro serial dater? I mean, you serial date women where you like date them, you like woo them and then smash them and never talk to them again. That's like what every woman's like so scared of, right? It's like a pro serial dater.
Well, not nowadays. I feel like nowadays women will like be pro serial daters and then they'll smash you. And then
I feel like there's more, now. Because like the tables have turned for women, and I think like generations of women have just gotten it done to them for so long that it's just
they're sick of your shit. I don't really remember what I thought when we were dating. Like, I don't know if I was thinking like, oh, he's probably like seeing other people or like, I don't think I thought that.
Serial dater. No, I never was.
Do you know who Taylor Swift is?
Swiftie.
Are you Swiftie?
Hells no.
Really?
I only like that song. You got that JD. That like
that's if I play like a Taylor Swift song, you won't be able to sing it.
Probably no, I don't.
Can we try?
Yeah, but like I don't. I mean, I don't.
You don't know this song?
I like Katy Perry.
You've never heard?
Yeah, the Shake It Off.
Okay, so you do.
But this
who doesn't? I was gonna say like you. Okay,
that stuff. So like that music is.
There
great.
was a 4 seconds of the song played, and you already knew what it was.
Of course, because they say like you could tell a song's a hit within the first 10 seconds. That music is cool and it's good for what it does, especially what it does. Like when you hear it, but it's just like I don't know. There's not much like not content. There's not much like I don't know the word I'm looking for. Not much like what is that? What was the word I'm looking
substance?
for? Substance. There's no substance to it. It's just like but yeah, you love Taylor Swift?
I'm actually not a big. I like her like whatever's like popular on the charts and like it's on the radio. Yeah, it's like catchy and I'll like the music, but I'm not like a diehard like Swiftie like pay $1 million to go to her concert.
It's interesting because people love it. Like this kid that he's like way older than me. He's a deadhead actually. And
he's a guy?
Yeah, he's older though, and he grew up with my brother, and he's like really, really into music. Like really like in the music, a deadhead. And he's always like posting all this stuff. And he posted like I'm like unapologetically a Swiftie. And I wanted to like slide in his DM and be like, what do you mean? Like, cause I was like, but I was like, music is music. You could love what you love. Like you could love what you love. And you could like what you like,
I think we both like hood music.
I think I'm just stuck in like, just like the past with music though.
You like all kinds of music. Like I would have never guessed
course.
that from
but I don't like
appearances.
new. Like I want to like hear new. I don't know. I think I'm just stuck on my genres of music.
You know what you didn't say in your intro is that you're also a rapper.
I'm not a rapper.
You were a rapper. But also I think you have a very interesting taste in music because you'll like the most hood shit ever, and then you'll like also like
and switch it to like Grateful Dead and then, like Jimmy Buffett and like Frank Sinatra. Yeah, I'm like wild.
Yeah.
Even I surprise myself. Sometimes I'll be like listening to like a Dead song, and then like the Dead song will go off, and like I'll put on a Lil Wayne song, and then like that'll go off, and then I'll put on like like a SZA song or like, and then I'm just like, what type of fucking catalog? But that's just how my brain works. But I think we'll get into a lot of music stuff because I'm gonna try to get you to like start opening your mind more to music. I think we should talk about fashion, and we'll touch on a bunch of stuff. And we love you guys.
KK, bye.
Okay,
KK.
we're signing off. Hopefully our dogs didn't rip the house up.
Just the bathroom. They probably did. Oh, God.